Gurubhyo Namaha. We are going to learn Soils of India under Social Studies 4th Standard FA4 portion. You already know and you have learnt about natural resources and you are familiar with the terms soil, forest, wildlife, afforestation and so on. Now we are going little bit in depth on all these aspects. Now let us talk about soil. What is soil? Soil is loose sandy particles which is available on the crust of the earth. So why should we learn about soil? Because it is very useful to mankind and for any living creatures. So we have to learn about soil. So there are different types of soil available throughout India. In this soil only we do agriculture and different types of plants and vegetations grow in the soil. So it is essential for us to know about soil and its uses. Then we are going into the soils found in different parts of India. First, let us talk about the most important soil, alluvial soil. Here you can see the texture, color of the soil, and it is found in the northern fertile plain. Alluvial soil is called the fertile soil and it is brought down by the rivers from the mountains. So since it's the most fertile soil, agricultural activities take place in this region throughout because the soil is renewed now and then. Then comes the black soil. Black soil is otherwise called as black cotton soil because predominantly in this type of soil cotton grows. It has iron content in it which enables cotton growth. The origin is from the lava which has come out of volcanoes. Then when you talk about red soil, in the interior parts where there is moderate rainfall, there we find this red soil. Though the soil is not so fertile, we have all fertilizers, so the land is enriched with all these fertilizers and agriculture is possible in the interior parts of Tamil Nadu and the Maharashtra, coastal region of Maharashtra and some parts of Andhra Pradesh interior. When we talk about the laterite soil, where are these laterite soil found? These are found on the Malabar coast and in the northeast because these laterite soil are found on the mountains. They are prone to leaching. The essential nutritive parts of the soil gets dissolved in the running water. So the soil, though it is not fertile, some chemicals have to be added. It is rich in humus, but it does not contain any inorganic substance. So when you add some fertilizers, this soil also becomes fit for agricultural activity. Most of the beverages crops or plantation crops are grown in this laterite soil. Then comes the sandy soil. Sandy soil are found in the desert region. The soil is loose and the soil cannot hold the water. So even when there is any minimum rainfall, it will just get either vaporized before reaching the soil or gets into the soil. Low vegetation or thorny bushes only grow in this region, but nowadays because of irrigation facilities, this soil is also used for agricultural activities. Then, so we have learnt now about the different types of soil found in India. You know for what purpose soil is used? Soil is used for all the three activities, the primary activity, the secondary and the tertiary, without which you cannot imagine any progress or any development to any living creature. So when you talk about uses of soil for agriculture, doing farming activity, for any creatures to live and survive, they have to depend on the other living creature for its food and other material. Then is it not our responsibility to conserve the soil, children? Yes, we have to conserve soil. You might say some soil are renewable like alluvial soil. If continuous usage without giving a thought, even that will lead to total exhaustion. So we have to take care to conserve soil. In the sense, instead of using all chemical fertilizers, we have to use biofertilizers and adopt simple methods mitigating the usage of chemicals. Okay children, we will continue with forest lesson. Thank you. Sri Gurubhyo Namaha. Social science. We are going to learn Forests of India, the FA4 portion for 4th standard. Have you ever heard about the term natural vegetation? What is natural vegetation? Any tree or trees in group which grows on its own without the effort of mankind, then it is called a natural vegetation. So the common term used for natural vegetation is forest. In India, as we have different types of climate and relief feature, we also have different types of forests found all over India. See, why should we learn about forests? There should be some aspects or significance of forests. Because forests, when you give a thought for forest, immediately in your mind, thousands and thousands of trees, birds and animals come to your mind. So it gives so much of useful resources for the development of mankind. So is it not our responsibility to maintain it? Certainly we have to, in order to sustain and to see sustainable growth, we need to conserve these forests. We get food, fodder and fuel from forest. You learn this way. Food means you get all vegetables, fruits from forest. You get the dried twigs and branches for fuel, and you can take your cattle, sheep herd into the forest for grazing. So in this way, forests are useful to mankind. Apart from this, you get medicinal herbs, gum, lac, honey, everything from forest, what not. These things we can see, but there are some benefits which we cannot see, but we will realize as when we grow. What are these, children? Have you ever heard about the term forest is called the rain bank? Why is it called as rain bank? Because more and more tree grows, more and more transpiration happens. When more and more transpiration, evaporation takes place. When evaporation, it is condensation and you get more rainfall. See, if you get more rainfall, more water, and the ground level of water is also recharged. And when the land is barren and when the water runs like a flood, it washes away the topsoil, it leaches the soil, it wears out the essential nutritive material. Then what would happen? The soil will be bleached. So we have to protect the soil, we have to conserve the soil. So in that case, the trees, the roots of the trees will retard the speed of the flow of water and conserve the soil. And it also makes the environment pure. The last point, but not the least, the prime factor that we should keep in our mind is the more and more forests, more and more oxygen is released by the plants, and it purifies the air and stabilizes the climate of the neighborhood. So is it not our responsibility to maintain these forests? And we do agree. We are trying to manage between maintaining the forest and expanding the agriculture. But on the whole, we have to try to give effort to maintain desired level of forest, so that we undertake afforestation. Afforestation means planting of more and more trees. Now we will move into types of forest. Then there are different types of forest. They are evergreen forest, deciduous forest, thorn forest, mountain or coniferous forest, marshy and tidal forest. These evergreen forests, as the name indicates, they never shed their leaves. These are found in the tropical region, southern region on the western side, Malabar coast and the northeast, the foothill regions of Himalayas, there you find evergreen forest. The leaves of these trees never shed down, and they produce commercially exploitable hardwood trees like sal, ebony grows in this region. Next, when we come to deciduous forest, deciduous means which shed their leaf in summer or in winter. In case of tropical country, they shed their leaf in summer to avoid excess transpiration. If it is in temperate region, it sheds its leaf during the winter season to avoid excess snowfall. And we find these deciduous forests in the rain shadow region of Deccan and in the rain shadow region of the Shillong Plateau. These deciduous forests are found. Here also commercially exploitable trees like rosewood, sandalwood grows in this region. Then thorn forest. Where are these thorn forests found? Naturally in the desert region, because they cannot, in desert region we don't see any thick vegetation. Only small thorny bushes are seen in this region. Why thorny bushes? Because leaves, they are prone to transpiration, and to protect itself the leaves are reduced to spine, and thorny bushes and burrowing animals are seen in the sandy desert. When you talk about mountain or coniferous forest, it's seen on the hills of Himalayas. You might be looking strange. Why in India temperate forest? Because based on the altitude, the type of vegetation also changes. On the foothills of the Himalayan hills, you find the coniferous forest. Coniferous forest means the leaves are like needle in shape. If the leaves are flat, imagine what would happen if there is a snowfall. It is injurious to the leaf. So the nature itself, it has adapted to this way of the shape. It is in needle in shape. So the snow will slide off easily. The shape of the coniferous tree is like a cone. Light wood like fir, oak, spruce grow in this region. Then when coming to marshy and tidal forest. What is marshy and tidal forest? These forests are found on the deltaic region of West Bengal, and wherever the river empties into the ocean, you find these marshy tidal forests. These forests are basically saline in nature, and coconut trees, sundari trees grow in this region. The famous wildlife region here is this in West Bengal is the Tiger Reserve in Sundarbans. Then coming to conservation of forest and wildlife. You know, these things we get from forest, so it is our responsibility to maintain the forest. If you cut one tree, you give a proper effort to at least grow 2 or more trees in that region, so that the desirable level of forest will not get reduced. Moreover, these forests only gives the houses many wildlife. Without wildlife, nobody can ever live. We cannot imagine even the food production. All things are, forest and wildlife. There are many forest parks which are protected, namely Kaziranga forest in Assam region, where you have this rhinoceros being protected, and in Gir forest, Gir National Forest, lion safari is famous, and Periyar Wildlife Sanctuary in Kerala also they protect the wildlife. So these things, let us recall about Forest of India. Forest of India, the natural vegetation without man's effort, which is grown all over the country, is called Forest of India. The different types are evergreen, deciduous, thorn, mountain or coniferous forest, marshy and tidal forest. Thank you.